Hi everyone, Psalmist David here. Happy to be with you sharing another fresh bread, a time of inspiration. And then we have some music on the harp. All right, so today we're going to consider what happened a couple of days ago, Friday, the 14th of April. Two great events. One is that Brother George Verwer passed away, and he is the founder of Operation Mobilization, which is one of the foremost missionary mission sending groups in the world. And lived a good long life, 84. As Paul says, he fought the good fight, he waged a good warfare. Just want to look at some things, just a few points to do with his life. And then we also had the same April the 14th, William Seymour, who was a black preacher in LA. He launched what became the Asuza St revival in a fairly run-down part of town. An old building which was used as a stable, so it was not your cleanest place. It had a rough ground, it was not paved. And we're going to talk about him because same day, two fairly major events that impacted our world. And these were two great men who went beyond the call of their day, maybe beyond just what Christian men did. These were men with a deep purpose, deep calling of God, and they followed through at great cost. And I just felt there's some of you who are not ordinary, and the Lord is calling you to do some deep things, some extraordinary things. And maybe like me, I have to admit here, at times I get caught up in the comfort life, the pursuit of a more comfortable life, pursuit of security, shedding of risk. You want to have a comfort life and still bless God and still do some things for God, but you don't want to rock too many boats and all of this. And really and truly, in the age in which we live, when you look around and see the state of affairs, the social fabric of our life is all ripped apart. If a few more people don't do the things that Seymour did and the things that Verwer did, then the kingdom of God is not going to advance. There's more of us that need to totally rip away from the fabric that's being sown, that's making us all the same, that's telling us that we have to live certain lives and pursue comforts and pension plans and those kinds of things. And these people, so Seymour was born from emancipated slaves. His parents were slaves, absolutely poor. He moved out of there and moved west to try to basically get a simpler, better life. But not a comfortable life, because by then he felt the call of God, and he was sitting in on Bible class, Bible school classes, and he had to sit outside with the door cracked because they wouldn't let blacks into the Bible school. And with a passion for God, and then he recognized that the Lord wanted to pour out his spirit, and so there was a whole speaking in tongues thing, and then they started this prayer meeting, and it outgrew the house where they were. And at great cost, he went ahead and secure the use of this place, and they started to have sessions there. Great cost. He had, one suit, and he would sit and put his head in a box and pray, and then when he felt God was saying something, take his head out of the box, and then they would do something. The choir would sing, or he would, preach, or someone else would share. Broke all of the rules. There were whites and blacks there, and this was a time when everything had to be segregated, and they had whites and blacks there praying for each other, and being healed and being saved and being spirit-filled and all of this kind of thing. He had to go beyond what was the norm and what was the expected and what was the acceptable. George Verwer now went to school, college, and then his heart was raised with the need to tell people about Jesus. And he took a trip, sold everything he had, and he went to Mexico several times, and from there to other parts of the world. And it was a huge cost, like selling everything he had over and over again, to take Bibles and literature to nations that did not have. And then the wild thing about buying a boat, buying a ship, an old ship, and re-outfitting it to carry Christian books, literature, Bibles, to many different ports. And I've been on several of those ships. These are guys who stepped out in total risk. They just had a feeling that God was saying go, and they stepped out and did it. And some of you are like that. God is saying, we need a quantum leap. We need something that's going to be a whole other dimension of functioning. And are you willing? And so Paul says to Timothy, I'm going to charge you this, according to the prophecies previously made concerning you, that by them you may wage a good warfare. This is really going to be war, because it's going to be against even what you're saying. You will tell yourself this isn't safe, and yet the prophetic word has said go, and so you just have to go. And so he goes on and says, Timothy, do not neglect the gift that is in you, which was given to you by prophecy of the laying on of hands. Meditate on these things. Give yourself entirely to them, that your progress may be evident to all. That your progress, it's not a comfortable, safe place. It's a continuum of change. And so God will take us to the places where he needs to go, as he did these two great men. And I just want to encourage you and me. I'm right here. We've got to shed the need to be comfort, need for comfort, and the need to be risk-free. We've got to get comfortable with risking it, because if you don't do what you're supposed to do, it won't get done. We're at the point now where God has invested so much in us that if we misstep, if we tell God no, or if we shirk back out of fear, it won't get done. It's not a case where he has 10 other people. He has invested so many years in you to bring you to the place where you are now. You have to go ahead. You have to go ahead. The kingdom of God, Hebrews 12, has a bunch of people who are watching us, who are telling us, bring home the baton. You have the promise now. I just want to encourage you people. We can do this. Let's go do what the Lord needs us to do. Amen.